This is your Watchman News, standing firm for the right where you can learn to discern twisted narratives.
Good evening and welcome to Watchman News Around the World. I'm your host, Michael, bringing you the latest updates and global events. The United Nations is now also planning to introduce a global digital ID system linked to individuals' bank accounts. This is outlined in three new policy briefs from United Nations titled "A Global Digital Compact Reform to the International Financial Architecture and the Future of Outer Space Governance." The goal of the briefs is to advance United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres' vision for the future, and is titled "Our Common Agenda." Green light expected September 2024 during an event dubbed the Summit for the Future. A vital part of the agenda is also digital connectivity and the establishment of a global digital compact. This can be described as a cybernetic organ consisting of a digitally connected network of people, entities, devices, and things that easily can be directed by those who run the system. In the policy brief, it is, for example, explained how digitization will help to achieve the global goals. The suggestions happen to be very similar to what World Economic Forum and PwC prescribed in their report Unlocking Technologies for the Global Goals in 2020. Digital ID, it's a cornerstone in this work and is, among other things, seen as a way to reduce poverty, it is being said. More on this reporting for Watchman News from our reporter, Ivan.
The United Nations is planning to introduce a global digital ID system that is linked to individuals' bank accounts. The plan, which is similar to the system developed by the World Economic Forum, is outlined in three new policy briefs from the UN titled "A Global Digital Compact, Reforms to the International Financial Architecture, and the Future of Outer Space Governance." The goal of the briefs is to advance UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres' vision for the future. Officially titled, "Our Common Agenda," Guterres' vision should be given the green light in September 2024 during an event dubbed the Summit for the Future. From the report, digital IDs linked with bank or mobile money accounts can improve the delivery of social protection coverage and serve to better reach eligible beneficiaries. Digital technologies may help to reduce leakage, errors, and costs in the design of social protection programs. On August 26, 2020, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, together with co-chairs Achim Steiner and Maria Ramos, launched the report of the Task Force, People's Money. Harnessing Digitalization to Finance a Sustainable Future. The task force was established by the Secretary General as part of his broader roadmap for financing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, 2019 to 2021. Its mandate: to catalyze and recommend ways to harness digital financing to accelerate the financing of the Sustainable Development Goals. United Nations Legal Identity Agenda. Inclusive and trusted digital ID can unlock opportunities for the world's most vulnerable. August 1, 2022, to a large extent, CBDC will replicate the functions of paper money such as store of value, unit of account, and medium of exchange. February 9, 2022, all told, around 100 countries are exploring CBDCs at one level or another. Some researching, some testing, and a few already distributing CBDC. Identification of individuals by trait prediction using whole genome sequencing data. Scientists discover how to identify people from anonymous genomes. DNA data marketplace, an analysis of the ethical concerns regarding the participation of the individuals. Cashing in on DNA, race on to unlock value in genetic data. How much is your DNA worth? As millions of people pay for home tests to check on ancestry or health risks, genetic data is becoming an increasingly valuable resource for drug makers, triggering a race to create a DNA marketplace. Not unlike their unofficial counterparts over at the WEF, the UN also speaks about basically regulating the global digital future. The unelected organization uses phrases such as international cooperation and many stakeholders, who will advance principles, objectives, and actions to describe this globalist agenda. The UN describes this goal as an open, free, secure, and human-centered digital future. The digital future as envisaged by these groups is going to be quite the opposite of open, free, or human-centric, however. As far as the UN's vision for a future global financial system, it is supposed to be harmonized with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. It would be governed by something called the apex body. That is yet to be set up. The key actors here would be the UN chief, as well as the Group of 20, the Economic and Social Council, and heads of international financial institutions. Within this, the UN sees visions of a global digital compact. Essentially, the objective is to have people, devices, and entities all tied up in a connected network that could apparently be centrally administered, seemingly by unelected bureaucrats. When those planning this future scheme worry about any negative impact, they never see it as potentially affecting everyone but only civil society or selected groups excluded from social benefits. Meanwhile, the WEF has just partnered with a leading biometrics company to advance its own agenda to digitize humanity. Swedish biometrics company Fingerprint Cards has taken a big step into the WEF's new champions community, an assembly of mid-sized enterprises. The WEF is keen to promote biometric forms of digital ID and claims the technology would serve as a steward of social inclusion. The beast with lamb-like horns of Revelation 13 was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast so that it could speak and could cause all who would not worship the image to be put to death. Moreover, it caused everyone, great and small, rich and poor, slave and free, to be branded with a mark in his right hand or forehead. And no one was allowed to buy or sell unless he bore this beast's mark, either name or number. We observe 3 significant points in this text. 1. This will be enforced worship, based not on love, but on fear. 2. All men will be classified, catalogued, and labeled. 3. Freedom will be denied to one group of these individuals. The activity that is particularly restricted is buying and selling. This may include every variety of exchange, but the primary emphasis pertains to worship, which suggests restriction of the buying and selling of salvation.